This is the Heybike Electric Bike, and right now it's standing here with its sleek black finish, bold yellow accents, and a solid modern look that definitely catches your eye. If you're like me and you've looked for an electric bike that can actually handle everyday riding, commuting, or even a bit of weekend trail exploring, this is something that might grab your attention too. In this video, I want to give a quick review based on my actual experience with this e-bike, sharing the good, the not so good, and what stood out most from a user's perspective, especially if you're new to e-bikes. For the overall shape and first impression, the Heybike Electric Bike really feels lighter than you'd expect at first glance. At about 53 pounds, it's definitely not featherweight, but compared to some other e-bikes I've used, it's a lot more agile and manageable. That makes a big difference when you need to load it onto a hitch rack or just move it around your garage. The aluminum frame gives it a strong, sturdy base, but those yellow stripes on the flat black body are not just for looks, they actually help with visibility on the road. I appreciate little touches like that, especially riding in traffic or lower light situations. The tires are 27.5 inches, kind of what you'd expect on a modern mountain bike, and they're about 2 inches wide. That size gives you good balance and grip, but it also keeps the ride smoother when you're not just on sidewalks or nice roads. I've taken it both on pavement and onto a few gravel trails, and honestly, those bigger tires plus a front suspension fork really help eat up small bumps and keep the ride comfortable. I was a bit skeptical about the front suspension because sometimes entry-level bikes skimp in that area. But this one is lockable. You can adjust it for firmer or softer rides, which is great if you want to switch between paved and rougher surfaces. For anyone who doesn't know, suspension on bikes helps absorb shocks from potholes, curbs, or trail bumps and makes your ride less jarring. Turning to what it's like to actually ride, I'd say Heybike nailed the essentials. From my experience, the seat is well cushioned and adjustable, and I had no trouble finding a comfortable position, even on longer rides. I'd recommend this for anyone around 5 foot up to about 6'2" or so. I had a friend close to 6.5 feet tall try it out, and he still felt pretty comfortable. The controls are pretty much what you'd guess if you've seen any other electric bikes. The LCD display in the middle is bright and easy to read, showing your speed, battery percentage, assist level, and odometer. You just hold the main button to turn the bike on and switch between 3 levels of pedal assist. For anyone new to e-bikes, pedal assist means the bike's motor gives you extra power as you pedal. The higher the assist, the less work you have to do. A really great part for me is the throttle on the handlebar, which means you can actually ride this bike without pedaling at all if you want. That's a big perk when you're tired after a long day or just want an easy ride home. The bike is rated at a top speed of around 22 miles per hour, and I found it can definitely get up there rather quickly, especially on flat ground. The 750-watt peak motor is powerful enough for city commutes, and even riding up steeper hills doesn't feel like a struggle. The battery is 480 watt-hours, which technically delivers up to 40 miles per charge. Realistically, I was seeing more like 32 to 36 miles, but it depends if you're using full throttle or a lot of pedal assist, and your own weight and riding conditions. Either way, that's enough for most commutes or weekend adventures, and the battery is removable for easy charging. I like that you can lock the battery in place, and you actually don't have to leave the key in while you ride. Some other features worth mentioning from my experience. You get a nice, bright headlight that you can turn on using a button on the handlebar. There's also a surprisingly loud horn, which could be helpful in busy areas. The 7-speed Shimano gears shift smoothly and give you enough range to tackle hills or pick up speed on flat ground. Now, getting into what I like most about this bike. The first thing is its versatility and comfort. It feels light and agile, and while it excels on paved streets, it does surprisingly well on dirt or gravel trails. The pedal assist and throttle are smooth and responsive, which gives you a lot of control over how much effort you want to put in. The display is very user-friendly, and the whole bike just feels like it was built with the rider in mind. I found the battery life to be reliable, and charging was straightforward. Mechanically, the disc brakes on both wheels actually worked better than I expected. They're quiet and stop the bike quickly, even going downhill. I'm also a fan of how quick and painless it was to assemble. About 90% of it comes ready, and it only took me about half an hour to get it the rest of the way built. The included instructions and online videos made everything super clear. But to keep it honest, there are things I wish could be better. One of the main issues I've noticed is with the front suspension. While it does help with comfort, it's not as smooth or strong as some higher-end bikes. If you're hitting lots of curbs or rough trails, you'll be reminded this is mainly a commuter, not a hardcore mountain bike. The brakes, while pretty good, sometimes needed minor adjustment, especially when I was new to using disc brakes. For a total beginner, expect to spend a bit of time getting them dialed in and maybe needing to tighten them up again after your first few rides. Let's talk about the bike's weight compared to other portable foldable bikes. The Heybike isn't exactly heavy for an e-bike at just under 53 pounds, but it can feel a little awkward lifting onto a rack, especially with the battery attached. If you plan to carry your bike upstairs or load it frequently, just be prepared that it's not like lifting a standard bicycle. Also, battery range is always going to be a real number only you can decide on. And while Heybike says up to 40 miles, this number changes pretty quickly if you use throttle-only mode or ride at higher speeds. Sometimes, the app for settings and adjustments felt a little basic or rough around the edges. Nothing major. It's just not as advanced as some other e-bike brands. For long-term ownership, ordering replacement batteries or specific parts is not as quick and simple as I'd hoped. It's doable, but not instant. In conclusion, from my experience, I'd recommend the Heybike Electric Bike for anyone looking for a reliable, comfortable, and easy-to-use commuter or hybrid city bike. It does a great job of making electric biking accessible, especially if you're not an expert. The ride quality is smooth, the features really do make a difference for everyday comfort, and the style is modern, which I like. It's perfect for getting to work, running errands, or taking a relaxing ride around town. Just keep in mind a few quirks with the suspension and plan to do some fine-tuning at the start. I will update specific information about the Heybike Electric Bike in the comments. Don't forget to catch my next video.